Hello everybody, welcome back to JuJu's Journey. My name is Angela, but everyone calls me JuJu. I'm a grandmother, my grandchildren call me JuJu, my best friends call me JuJu, and I've been called JuJu probably now for 30 some odd years, and so that's why my channel is called JuJu's Journey. I became a widow 7 months ago. Well, on the 11th of this month, it'll be 7 months. First time I've ever lived on my own. I started doing the cash budgeting, envelope stuffing in January, and I love it. I think that's the only way I can pretty much survive right now. I'm on a very fixed income. I started a side hustle selling on eBay. I'll probably end up doing a few more little side hustles just to try to subsidize my income. And so we're just going to do my Sunday planning. I'm going to stuff my wallet, do my weekly stuffing. You probably haven't watched my other two videos. The first one was basically a disaster. The second one was a little bit better, but still a disaster. But we'll get there. I'm new at doing YouTube. I'm nervous still. From what I understand, it will become easier and easier. But I'm doing this just to kind of document my journey. But also I want to be an inspiration to people that they're by themselves. It doesn't have to be because your spouse dies. It can be because you're a young mother and you're trying to make ends meet. You may just be graduating from college or graduating high school and you're on your own for the first time. Had I known what I knew, if I had started this process whenever I was in my young 20s, my whole world would be different right now. I wouldn't go back and change my life on how it turned out. I mean, I'm not destitute by any means, but I'm trying to tell my children, y'all need to start doing this. It just makes so much sense to me. And so I figured, let's just do this journey together and maybe we can all figure out how to do our little side hustles and have fun at it at the same time. But anyway, let's get started. I've got to stuff my wallet and stuff my binders. I am 1 month ahead. My goal is to be 3 months ahead. And then, of course, even 6 months ahead in the future. But right now, I'm 1 month ahead, so I've already pulled my money from the bank for this whole month of July. But when I did my planning, my weekly stuffing is going to be $410. I've already stuffed my, well, basically, that's all I can stuff this month because of my fixed income. I'm on a $3,000 a month budget. And then I started selling on YouTube. And last month, my profit was like $444, I believe. That was after I held some back for taxes. And of course, that was my profit, not my gross. It was my net. So, anyway, let's just start. And I'm sorry I'm kind of all over the place, but let's go ahead and stuff my wallet. We'll start by dumping out my change. I don't know about you guys, but I roll my change instead of taking it and putting it in the change dispenser thing at the bank. I was told a couple of years ago that they knew how much change they were actually taking to the bank, and it was probably about $200 or $300, but they were only it only accounted for like 60 some odd dollars. And how do you prove that? So anyway, even when my husband was alive, I enjoyed sitting, watching television, and counting change and rolling it. So when this jar gets full, I'll roll it. I think I have like $400 or $500 worth of rolled coins in my safe. But this is just me unstuffing my wallet each week. It looks like I have lots of quarters and dimes and pennies. We'll have to see how much that is one day. Maybe we can guess and someone can win a prize. That would be fun. But let my channel, let people actually watch it first. And if nobody watches it, if one person watches it and comments when we do that, then you win the prize. So this is my cash planning worksheet. And as you can see, I've got everything we're going to stuff. And then if I'm going to stuff it in 20s or 50s or 5s, you'll see how we're doing it. This is how I plan for this week. Usually on Sundays is when I try to plan for my week ahead. This past week was not a good week for me. I don't know if it was because here's another holiday that came up and it was grief. I don't know. I stuffed $40 for JuJu. That means I can spend this money this week any way I choose. It's not really allotted towards anything. Groceries, I'm going to put in 40. Actually, eBay owes me $40. So when they pay me back, I'll just put it back in for next month to stuff JuJu. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Dining out, I give myself 20 each week. My budget was a little bit higher, but I had some cushion in the bank, and now I'm down to my $3,000 a month budget, and I had to cut out. I started out with $60 in groceries, now I'm down to $40. I used to be $50 for JuJu, $30 for dining out. Miscellaneous has always gotten 10. But I'm lucky I eat dinner every night with my daughter, except on weekends. I give them a break. But I'll supply 1 to 2 meals a week, and then they supply the rest of the meals. And I just walk over. They live right next door, and I walk over and eat dinner, and usually come home after dinner so they can have their family time. And then my daughter is a stay-at-home mom, so we eat lunch every day together. And my other daughter comes over for lunch on her lunch break. And so we go to the grocery store and we prep lunches every day. And then sometimes we'll go grab lunch. But each of us put $20 in our lunch envelope. And so when it accumulates, we get to go out and have lunch. It's really fun. But I've got $40 in. I've got 20 from my daughter, 20 from me, and then I've got to grab 20 from my other daughter tomorrow. We kind of splurged 2 weeks ago. We went out to eat like several times, so that's why this isn't stuff more than that. And then I have my ones that I did not, that I need to stuff. These ones, or if I go to the grocery store and spend like $14 and they give me a $1 bill back, I just take the ones and stick them in my wallet to go into my dollar savings. And then I have my receipts that I stuff into Fetch Rewards. Actually, I downloaded that app probably a couple of years ago and never used it, and I just started using it, and I think it's going to be beneficial. I've got like 8,000 Fetch Reward points right now. So it's going to take me a long time to be able to redeem a gift card. But anyway, it'll be fun. But as you know, I'm not out and about. I'm not really spending a lot of money right now. My focus right now is trying to earn money from home. And I'm going to do that by reselling right now on eBay. So let's go ahead and get down to the other binders. Let me get a check off what we've already done. So we've done JuJu, we've done groceries, we've done dining out, miscellaneous. Then let's get the kids' binders. Well, it's only one binder, not binders. Anyway, every week I stuff $5 into my grandchildren and children's binder. I do this to save up for birthdays and Christmas. So my youngest grandson, he's just turned 9 months today. And let's see how much money he has. So he's got 100, I've got a placeholder, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he's got 130. His birthday's in October, so we already have his birthday gift because I give them $100 for their birthday. This granddaughter's birthday's in October too. She should also have $100. So let's give her. Although this one should not have $100. This is not my granddaughter. This is the one that just turned 1 year old, and I already gave him his 100. So now we're saving up for Christmas. So he's got 10, 20, 30. $30. I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow, taking this one to the doctor with my son. He's got a heart condition, and so he has to see doctors all over the place. He's already had his first little heart surgery, and he'll have several more. But he's doing so good. I'm so happy for him. But this little girl, she's 5, and her birthday's in October. So she's got $100 that's in savings. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. That doesn't make sense. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't know where my brain just went. So 130 for her. I have 5 grandchildren. 4 boys and 1 girl, which is so ironic because I have 5 children and that's 4 girls and 1 boy. So now we're just the total opposite. He's 7, and so he's got 100. His birthday's in February, but I didn't use this money for his birthday in February. I just kind of skipped it and just paid out of my checking account. So he's got Christmas already paid for, and now we're saving for birthday. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he has 130. This grandson, he just graduated from high school, and I gave him $100. So we're kind of running behind on him, but hopefully his birthday's not until January. So basically, hopefully I can save up for Christmas and a birthday gift. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And if not, maybe my gift, I might cap these and stuff the one when they get ready. I might be able to make his right. And this is my daughter and her fiance. Her birthday's in December, like right before Christmas. I'm going to give my children $100, and then their spouses or significant others, they'll get $50. That's how we do it around here. But like I said, I've got 4 girls and 1 boy. I might do the opposite with my daughter-in-law because, you know, she's a girl. Guys just don't require as much. But like I said, last year we unstuffed and took a lot of stuff to the bank. And so, for savings, and so therefore we have all these little placeholders, which is awesome. I finally got my Ally account up and running, and so my first transfer should be going through, I think tomorrow is the first one, and then the second one, which I deposited $2,750. So I'm transferring it over to the Ally account. And I've already created some buckets to put that money in. So we'll see how much money I can start drawing. It's not going to be a lot, but it'll be a lot better than the bank. So let's check off my kids. We've given each of them $5 for their weekly stuffing. House taxes, it's funded. And so let's go and get into I would imagine this is called my high priority sinking fund binder. So house taxes are fully funded. I've got $1,200 in savings at the bank. It's due in January. My house insurance is stuff $50 each week. Let's see. I'm going to have to start coming up with new ways of earning an income because I don't think I'm going to meet these goals. So $500, $600, $700, $800, $970 for house insurance. And last year I did overestimate, but my goal was to have $3,000, and it's due in February. So on the rate that we're going right now, that's not going to happen. You hear my cat? It drives me absolutely insane. Those are my my husband's kitty cats. Boy, did he love his kitty cats. House maintenance is going to get $20. I did unstuff this in order to meet my my $3,000 month ahead goal. So we're starting back over. So I've got $40 in house maintenance. And my goal is to have $5,000 for house maintenance. Car taxes, I just paid them because I got a new car. They're going to be due probably in February, but I'm just going to stuff $5 in right now. It's $15. They were $700. They were $870. That's why I have $900 goal right here. Car insurance, I always give $50. I don't know what it's going to be next year. When my husband passed away, I sold 2 cars, gave the truck to my son, which was an older truck, and I went and got me a new mini SUV. I don't have a car payment, but my car insurance should go down. And I do have my side-by-side, and it's bundled with my house. So hopefully I didn't mess anything up. Hopefully it'll go down. But right now, I've got $2,500 that my goal is for next year. So we've got $500, $600, $650 in the bank, $700, $750, $760. It's going to take a while. I've got to get my side hustle going, guys. I should not have been so down and out last week, but I need to give myself grace. I don't know if any of you have ever sold on eBay, but you have to work it. Like, I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm trying to at least make 5 listings a day to keep my algorithms up. But last week I didn't list anything. I only made, I think, 3 sales. I don't know. Last week. I did sell something today. And I sold something yesterday. So I may be up to 4 or 5 items that I sold. Car maintenance is going to get 5. This is going to be mainly for tires or something simple like that. But we've got $100, $200, and $15 in car maintenance with a $500 goal. Emergency, I pulled it to get my month ahead goal. But emergency, I have $1,000. Of course, my emergency is going to be higher than that, but I figured just by cash stuffing, it's going to be $1,000. So I only have $15 towards that $1,000. Medical, I just started this. And I only have $15. Let's see what I said. I'm putting $15 in too. But medical is going to be for vision and copays. I don't really go to the doctor. I'm not saying that I won't. But knock on wood, I haven't had to go to the doctor in quite a while. So 20, I've got $30. But I do need to go get some new glasses. Savings, I'm going to put in $5. This is another one I pulled from to make my $3,000 month ahead. So I only have $20 in savings. Okay, month ahead bills. I pulled this to get my $3,000 month ahead. So month ahead is going to get $5. And we only have $10 in month ahead. But that's better than nothing. Yearly fees, that's for Sam's, Blink. I've already paid Amazon Prime. I paid a year subscription last month. So, and I think it actually made it go down like $40 a year you would save. So that's not going to be pulled out of my checking account. But I forgot about tax preparation. So that's going to be part of my yearly fees, tax prep. Last year, they were simple, and it cost me like almost $400. So I don't know what it's going to cost this year if I do eBay, but I'm keeping very good records. eBay is going to get $5. And the reason I'm pulling it from this is because I actually pulled income from eBay to help stuff my binders. So I'm going to pull this, and hopefully I'll get a nest egg, so because of what happened yesterday, and I'll explain later. That's why JuJu was owed $40 from eBay, but I'll just get that out of my eBay checking account. I have a separate account just for that, so it doesn't mess with my main account in case something happens. So we just did all of these. Month ahead, yearly fees, and eBay. Let's check these boogers off. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so now we're going to go with the fun binder. I would imagine these are low priority sinking funds. Okay, so here we go with the dollar savings. So each week, I save my dollars that I did not spend. I try not to spend any dollars during the week. And then I put them in my binder. Let's count and see how many we have. And when it gets to 50, I transfer them to another envelope. And I try to save them. But I did deposit some in the bank to go to savings because I said, should I really save them here or should I let them try to draw interest? So I did put them in the bank. But I did save, I think, $100 in ones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, $32. We're getting closer, guys. I had a savings challenge that I was doing, but I pulled that money as well to try to get to my $3,000 month ahead goal. But that was before I filmed on YouTube. You know, this is only my third video. So let's see. Let's put this back over here. Clothes is going to get $5. I don't buy clothes that often. I only do seasonal clothes shopping. which is a good thing, I suppose. But I'm not a fashionable person either. Entertainment is going to get 5. And I just made this binder, this envelope. And I made it because I don't budget for parties. And we had 3 parties in the last month. And of course I had to go buy a little, I wanted to take an hors d'oeuvre and I wanted to get some beverages, things like that. But I don't want to take it out of JuJu or my grocery money. So I started a little entertainment. The only other activity we have this month is my son's birthday. And by the time his birthday rolls around, I might have like $20 in it. And it's according, I may end up just keeping this in here and letting it build up for the next occasion. And just use my JuJu and grocery money for his birthday. Okay, personal care. Let's see what I'm going to get for personal care. $10. Y'all, I'm so bad. I've been doing online Sam's orders. If you spend $50, they'll deliver to your door for free. So I needed new razors. I needed honey for my coffee. I needed coffee. Anyway, I made my order up to $50, but I had them deliver honey and razors because I was out and I did not want to. My Sam's is in the next town over and I didn't want to go pick it up, so I ordered it and it was here in 2 days. So vacation is going to get $20. Next week is my vacation. It's not going to be a full vacation. Where I live is centrally located, and we're only an hour and a half, 2 hours away from, when you get into the beach, the traffic gets backed up this time of the year, so it's going to take about 2 hours to get to my destination. And my daughter has invited me to go. They've rented a beach house for the week, and she wanted me to go the whole time, but I told her I might go down for 2 days, come home, and then go back because I have animals and my little dog would not do good without me. She's already had a tremendous loss, and little dogs are different than big dogs. So I don't want to leave her that long. My daughter next door can come and check on her throughout the day, but she's going to wonder, like, is she not coming back either? So I told her I might go spend 2 days, come back home, and then maybe go spend another night. We'll see. But anyway, I do have my vacation envelope ready. And the only thing I'll have to do there is, I guess, if we go anywhere, I might want to do some thrifting while I'm at the beach. But other than that, I think we're going to cook at home. I might have to buy some, alcohol if we're going to make some mixed drinks. Or I might go find a little bar and sit on the beach and have a drink. I don't know. But I have cash. So we got 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, and $35. So that should be plenty of money to buy a little drink or go to the grocery store and help with a meal. But they're not going to let me help with the meal. My kids have been so good to me. It's unbelievable. But they're grown, and they're not little kids. They're grown adults. Gifts is going to get $5. I just bought a wedding gift, and I also bought a graduation gift. So I've got to build this up because I'm going to a wedding in Charleston in November. So I got to build this up to at least probably $100. And vet is going to get 10. And that will lead us to, let's see how much money we have in vet. got a $500 goal. So we got 100, 200, 10, 20, 30, 45. So $245 for that. Maybe if some of these would get my goals are met, then I can start double stuffing some more. You know, the next time this gets to 50, I might put it towards, I might just start rolling it over to like my house insurance and house taxes until I get that paid for. That's more important than having $51 bills in my safe. So I think I just figured out what I'm going to do. And wish list is going to get 5. And somehow I'm short. Lawn and garden should be getting 20. But apparently I did not do that correctly. So let me get a 20 for lawn and garden. Nope, it's not in that binder. What I did with my extra cash, you know, I told you I already got it out of the bank, is I just put it in the back of this binder. This is my $3,000. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Well, I'm glad I looked in there. Okay, we got to go back because I'm so silly. So anyway, these binders are completed. Let's go back and look at this. So JuJu, I'd already put money for this, for my wallet. So I've got to take 40 out for JuJu, 40 out for groceries, $20 for dining out, and then miscellaneous gets 10, and then lunch gets 20. I'm glad I did that because I would have been lost. So now I've got to just restock it back here because next week I will be stuffing $410 again. And I've got to pull it out of, if I did my budgeting right, it should work out just perfect. Which, although I don't know where I don't know where that 20 is. I must not have counted correctly. Okay, so we have our binders, we have our change, we have our receipts that I'm going to scan later. And I've got my wallet stuff for this week. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to Charleston for doctor's appointments with my 1-year-old and my son. So I'm sure he'll treat me to lunch and breakfast and lunch. We're going to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, let's go ahead and plan for the week. And let me show you how I do this. If I don't do this, I will not stay motivated. I have ADD. My camera didn't turn off. Okay. I have ADD, probably ADD, undiagnosed. But I have to keep myself on track. So I normally make a daily planner, but this is really a weekly planner. So you see right here, it has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I just circle which day I'm on. I'm not going to fill this whole thing up and try to make a new list every day. I'm just going to set simple goals and go from there. As you can tell, this only has 2 more pages in it. I've used these books. I've got like 10 of them, I think, came to me when I ordered them like a year and a half ago. So I told you I deposited $2,750 in my new Ally account. That was a little bit, it was easy, but not as easy as I thought it would be. I had to call them in order to get them to pull out of my account in Hartsville or in my hometown and confirm. They put a little bit of change in my checking account, and I had to call them and let them know how much they deposited deposited. So therefore now I can start making transfers on my own. But now it should be easy. But I put in for a transfer, and you've got to understand it was the 4th of July. So right now it's, well, I'm not counting the weekend. I think I did that on Wednesday, and the first transfer should not go into my Ally account until tomorrow. But of course, you know, Fridays the banks were closed. So I don't know if it's going to take 1 to 2 days or 2 to 3 days. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so I did my weekly planning and the envelope stuffing, so I've already done that. Okay, I've got to focus on eBay, y'all. I have to. I have no choice. If I'm going to get to the point where I can save up for my insurance and things like that, then I have to focus on eBay. I've got to make it like a job. So what my intention is to actually start trying to focus like it's a job, like mainly 9 to 5 maybe, and take a lunch break. That doesn't mean I can't go to Charleston, but that just means, you know, really and truly trying to focus. So right now I have, well, actually I have 220 because I did list 9 items today. I'll show y'all what I listed. I'm so excited. I did my math. I have 229 listings because I have an eBay subscription, and it I think it allows me to list 250 items a month. So I have 229 remaining. That was as of this morning. And so that would put me at 9 listings per day, or 63 listings per week. And then I'm also going to the beach. And normally I never meet the goal that they give me to list. But if I'm going to try to make money, I need to try to list 250 items. But if I'm going to go to the beach, I have to work extra hard this week and put some, they let you schedule listings. Because the way eBay works is you should list something every day if you can. So what my previous goal is to list 5 items a day. And like I said last week, I just took a hiatus. I think I listed 3 items the whole entire week. And it really showed because I only sold like 2 items last week. And this weekend, I either sold 2 or 3. No, I did sell 3 because I shipped 2 items on Saturday. And then I got an order this morning and it's ready to be shipped. So I did, on the 4th of July, I did make 2 sales, and that was good. That was on Friday. But I didn't sell anything else until today. And I had an established store, even though I had not worked it for several years. So it's not like I'm starting my store over from scratch. So anyway, I've got to schedule. You can backtrack and schedule your listings. So I want to, at least while I'm at the beach, have at least 5 things scheduled each day. So they'll go out no matter what. And then if I do sell something, I've got a 3-day, you know, I have 3 days that I have allotted myself to get it shipped. So like I said, I'm only going to go down 1 to 2 days at a time, so I can come back and ship them. And then if I'm home, of course, I can list. But I'm going to try to do the 200 and, well, now it's 220 because I listed 9 items today. And I put 1 in scheduling for tomorrow because I'm going to be going to Charleston. So after I get off here, I'm probably going to try to list a few more items. But anyway, let's get back to this. Tomorrow is really going to be a bust, but that's okay. We're going to focus on eBay. I do have to ship, which if I leave a note for my postman, he'll grab my package. But I've noticed I don't get much mail, and if I'm not getting mail that day, then they won't stop at my house. Why would they? So it's just better for me to run it to the post office. But I could take it to my daughter's house and put it on her front porch because she gets stuff every day in the mail. She's addicted. She's addicted to Whatnot. And I have not put my information in Whatnot because if I slide right, I'll be in trouble. So I'm going to focus on eBay. I've got to make thank you cards. Hold on a minute. I will show you what I do. Hold on. See, this is a little tiny package that's ready to go. So, these are the cutest little shorts, too. These are all sequin. Tiny, tiny little, they're size small, but they're tiny. They're so cute, though. And they've got to be on a young person. But anyway, I package everything to store it. And I go ahead and put my thank you card in and put a sticker. And so, if it's a bigger item, of course my clear bags are bigger. But this is how I package or store things for eBay. When it's closed, that is. Only when it's closed. Okay, so I've got to make thank you cards. And what I do is I found these cute Bible verses. What are these little cards? Business cards, the size of a business card. And I write my thank you note on the back. I'm not pushing religion on anyone. That's everybody's personal choice. But I feel like God has brought me through so much in my life. And he's definitely been with me since my husband's passed. That it's, you know, if God's going to bless me with an eBay business and let it be successful, then at least I can spread a little bit of hope in a message to someone else, you know. Who knows, it may just be the thing they need for the day. And if someone doesn't like it, then they don't have to read it. But I'm not going to let that keep me from trying to spread something good for somebody. So I need to make thank you cards. Because I'm getting low. What else? Oh, of course, you know, focus on eBay. That means list, list, list. I don't think I have. I do want to pull money or put money for my drafted. Well, I don't have to put it. I need to pull money for my drafted bills. But we might do that next Sunday. I'm thinking I'm going to try to do this on Sundays. But if something exciting happens, we can get back together some other time. But I don't have a lot going on. As far as business goes, I think that's about it for right now. Of course, the main thing is like, trash pickup and all that stuff. I'll write down all my little gotta-dos on my own. But as far as budgeting and as far as trying to get my side hustle going, I'm going to focus on eBay, which means list at least 9 items per day. And if I can't list 9 items per day, at least try to get them put for scheduling. Get prepared to go to the beach. And I want to pull money for drafted bills. And wish me luck. I want y'all to pray for me for tomorrow's visit with my grandson. Like I said, he's already had 1 heart surgery, and he'll have a major corrective heart surgery when he's probably 3 to 4 years of age. Right now, he's on a feeding tube, but I mean, he's perfect, y'all. He's walking, he's talking, he's just dynamite. And he'll overcome all of this. They'll fix his little heart. They'll fix it. Okay. So let me tell you what we did yesterday. Like I told you, I don't know if y'all know this, but in the past, I've had, you know, the little antique booths that you go to. My daughter and I have done that. We've made homemade things. We've sold on Etsy. Like I said, we sell on eBay. My son-in-law has an eBay account. My daughter has one, and I have one. And now we're in competition. And all of them are different. Like, I'll sell anything. My daughter sells, like, more vintage-inspired items, even though I love vintage, but I'll just sell pretty much anything. Well, we were fortunate enough yesterday to get invited to a private estate sale. The person invited people who were resellers, meaning they have their own thrift stores. And there wasn't a lot there. I didn't need to buy anything because I have so much here that I need to get or list. I don't need to be spending money. I need to be making money. But y'all, look. I found a jewelry box full of vintage brooches. Aren't they beautiful? Look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Let's see. Let's see if y'all can see. I can't see y'all. I hope I'm not in slow-mo. Hold on, let me check this camera real quick. Hold on, can you see that? Okay, and that one, look how pretty. Look at this one. Isn't that pretty? See, things like this make me happy. Now, I wish we still had our little booth. That would be fun. I'll probably end up getting another booth, but I'm not there yet. When my daughter had her daughter and my husband retired, we just didn't have enough, we didn't have enough time to focus on a newly retired husband and a new baby to be doing our little fun stuff. But we're going to get back into it. I can't wait until I start making soap again. That was so much fun. We had people that came from like 30 minutes, well, no, 45 minutes away just to buy our soap. They were so upset when we quit. Look how pretty that one is. I don't know about y'all, but this kind of stuff makes me happy. Look at that leaf. Isn't that pretty? I was talking to my aunt on the telephone. She's more like my sister. And I was telling her that I bought all these pretty little brooches. Now, this is just a little pin. And she was like, and I said, I just love brooches. They make me so happy. And she said, me too, but I would never wear one. And I said, me either. I'm too relaxed. Like I like t-shirts and loose dresses and things like that. I'm not, but look how pretty that dove is. Isn't that pretty? And he's shiny. He's painted in like sand, glitter sand art, maybe paint. So pretty. And I'm sad because this one is really pretty. But when I got it home, I realized it was missing 2 little rhinestones. So I didn't list it. And this one was so pretty too. And for some reason, I was just thinking those were silver. But no, it's missing a lot of little boogers. But I still think it's pretty. Whenever I get, when I get pieces like this, and I don't even know where that one came from. When I get pieces that are broken, I'll put them together and we'll make things like, have you ever seen those little Christmas trees where you glue jewelry on them? They're so pretty. So we'll use those for pieces like that. Look how pretty that one is. Isn't that pretty? So I bought all of these brooches. I'm just going to stick them in here. I went to a yard sale about 6 months ago. Well, no, like 3 months ago. I bought all of these vintage clip-on earrings. I don't wear really jewelry. But I'll keep them here until it's time. Until my phone goes ka-ching. Oh, look what else I bought in this cute. Can you see this? It's a jewelry box. It's wood. It's a log cabin. Wouldn't that be cute in the mountains? Or even if you lived out in the country. It is a jewelry box. It needs to be wound up. Come on. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, I love stuff like that. And of course, I'll put that somewhere clever until it sells. I mean, I'm not going to just put it on the shelf. I'll put it in one of my guest bedrooms. And then when it sells, then I'll go pack it up. But look how cool this is, y'all. This is cast iron. It's a bank. It's vintage, and you have to unscrew him to get your change out. Isn't he the coolest thing ever? I did a little bit of research on him. He is called a doughboy, and he is like a scout. But I have 3 of them. And most of them are going for like $100. I didn't list it for that much. But look, aren't they cool? They're so old. And wouldn't that be precious in a little boy's room on top of it, on his bookshelf? I mean, isn't that sweet? Or it would be pretty, like, cool in an office. Anyway, I love these. But I didn't go really to shop. I was just going to go for support. And that's what I got. What else did I get? Oh, you can't see this. I know it's not going to fit. But I got this early Americana Grandma Moses print. Isn't that cool? It's in its original frame. It does have a little bit of water damage, but I think it adds to the character because it's so old. But I didn't know Grandma Moses was a thing until I did research. She's got a lot of artwork out there that everybody likes. But anyway, it was fun. I did not do anything for the 4th of July. I stayed home and watched television. This, like I said, this past week was not a good week for me. I just kind of, I hibernated. I think that's normal, but I hibernated and I binge watched some things on that I shouldn't have watched, the Squid Games. But, and I just piddled. I call it piddling. I just piddled around the house, didn't get anything done. Didn't accomplish anything. But that week's over. Tomorrow's a new week. I'm giving myself that grace. But I woke up this morning. I do devotion every single morning. Every morning. And I've been praying every morning for God to give me focus. And today I woke up with focus. And so he'll answer our prayers. But we have to put some work into that as well. I can't just say, God, please give me focus and please let me be productive and then go watch television. You know, it doesn't quite work that way. But if I want to be able to do things in life and have fun, it can't be all fun and all fun and no work, or all fun. What's that saying? Anyway, you have to work to have fun. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So I'm going to try to get up tomorrow morning. I'll go to Charleston, but on Tuesday, I'm going to pretend like my life is a job. I'm going to work from 9 until 5 and take a 1-hour lunch break. And we will report here next week and see if I did it. So anyway, y'all stay safe. If y'all have any side hustles, anything fun to tell me, any advice. I know this video is probably not going to be that great. I think I had one person who actually watched my video. And that's it. But I don't expect people to watch. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. But I will tell you it was a little bit easier today than it was on day 1. So this makes 3 videos. So maybe the next one will be really, really good. So y'all tune in and see. And like I said, one day I'm going to show my face. But it's not there. I'm not there yet. Because we're going to have some fun together. Okay. Bye.